I built a fully functioning family finance app using AI, and here's how it went. Summer 2025 is when the word vibe coding started popping up everywhere, and it really caught my attention because as someone who has been studying Python coding, the simplest coding language in the world, and struggling with debugging, AI debugging has been a lifesaver for me. So now you're telling me that I can build a fully functioning app using AI? Sign me up. Now, I know getting app up is not as simple as just building an interface. If you've been trying using like Claude or using Lovable, you know that you can just put some prompt in and it will spit out a very beautiful interface. But that website or whatever you've seen is not functional yet. There are a few more steps after that. That's the least I know about the AI when I wanted to learn. So I decided I'm not gonna waste time learning by myself. I don't have that kind of time. So I decided to sign up for a class in Singapore, a coding with AI class that helped me build a functioning app in 48 hours. And let me tell you, it is worth the money. When we started into the app, everyone is coming from different backgrounds. And for me, I'm coming from a background of building businesses. I have a few business in technology. We have a few SaaS, software as a service solution, etc. So I have a little bit knowledge of software building, products development, etc. For vibe coding especially, I don't want to build into my business. I just wanted to serve my personal need, which is a family finance app. Because this is something we need. Our family setup is quite complicated because we are permanent resident in Singapore, but we are also citizens in 2 other countries. So basically we're dealing with a family setup with investment, bank accounts, and asset in 3 different countries, and tax as well. So it is complicated, and what we've been doing is just basically doing all that in Excel. The second reason we wanted to build it up is that we want to track our investment portfolio, which span across cryptocurrency, stocks, and real estate, and other stuff as well. As you can see, I don't think there is any finance app or personal finance app that can get all these data all together. Please correct me if I'm wrong, and I would love to try out if there's any kind of like personal finance app that can do all of this, but to my knowledge, there's none. Now, there are 3 steps to build an app, no matter what tools that you use. These are my learning and experience on building this finance app. So the first step is to build a product summaries, or what it calls, the technical term is PRD, or product requirements documents. And basically it is a list of functions of how you want this app to function. The second step after you get all these lists of items that you want to build up is you want to build an interface. You want to confirm if what you think in your head and what translates out onto the computer is the same. Like this is where all the Lovable or the AI app that spit out designs gonna be very helpful. This is where you can like touch and feel in a way if this is something that you really want, and you modify the experience of how you want the app is functions. And last is basically connecting it to the data server in the back and all the other technical setup so that it can fully function as an app, so that it can save the data that you put in and it can calculating the request that you want for that function and give back a result. So if you think of building an app like building a restaurant, the first step, building the checklist, is basically creating the menus. What do you want the user, what do you want the customer to come in and able to order from your restaurant? And then we start with working on the interior design of the restaurant where the customer is sitting and enjoying their meals. And once we happy with the vibe, the environment, the feeling that we want to design for our app, then that's when we start to build the kitchen, where we will receiving the order from the customer. We'll have the waiters to take orders and come back. We'll have the chef to cook up the orders and deliver out to the customer. So that is the 3-step building an app using AI. I don't know how different it is coding a regular app up, but that's the process that I've learned. So that's the process that I'm gonna use building my app. Our family finance model that we want to follow is Ramith Sevi's Rich Life Finance model. Basically, it's the family finance model that allows couple and family work towards their financial goal while enjoying life as well. I guess it's like a mix between financial independence, where you save and invest, but you also have a budget for enjoying things that you like. Like for us, it's traveling or spending time together and getting the experience. Rich life works for us because it's a compromise between you want to live life now and also work towards the goal. Luckily, we've been using the Rich Life Finance model for the 2-3 months before that already. So we have an Excel where we've been tracking all the data in there. What I did was just basically write down all the things that I've done in the Excel and put it on to AI to summary and give out a PRD for me. Let me see if I can give you a prompt example. Now I'm going to put my summary of what I want to put in my app. Here's an example of what the prompt I use. So I use Claw to create this app. I'm using the premium version, but I think the basic version also works. You can use ChatGPT as well, Gemini, Excel, etc. So my prompt is create a PRD summary from my family finance app. Ask me clarifying questions and suggest the technical setup that works for Vercel, which is interface design app that I'm gonna use, and Superbase, which is the backend, the server, the kitchen setup that I want to build. I want to lock in my family income, the tax that we have to pay, and the forced retirement, like let's say the 401k. Like in Vietnam, we have other retirements that we need to put in. Those are the money that right when it hit my bank account, it has to go to somewhere else immediately. The second is set up our family spending budget. I want to make sure that we have a budget and we spend it within a budget so that we can monitor if we are overspending or not. And third, of course, every single month that we will have to lock in our monthly expense. For our family, there's usually 2 ways that we're gonna have this expense. One is directly from our bank account or debit account, and the second is credit card. Usually for credit card, what we do every single month manually is we export the credit card statement out, and then we manually categorize each of the expense into different budget category. So that's what we do manually. And in this app, I would like to automate that part where I don't have to manually do that thing anymore, where it can auto-categorize it somehow. And the last part of the Rich Life model is that you calculate the surplus, right? You use income minus tax minus monthly expense, and then the surplus then will be allocated to investment. That is the setup and the functions I want to use. Now let's see what AI is gonna give me. Alright, it's because I told it to ask clarifying questions, it's starting to ask me clarifying questions. Okay, it's asking about user manual, how many members we will have. 2 members using this, but we'll share the same login. I need to complicate that. So 1 family equal 1 family again. Family member should have full permission. Ownership, right? Full permission. Do you need to track multiple income source per person? I just copy and paste. Yes. For the simplicity, at the beginning, we only did the personal income tax. Like later on, I built more, but at the beginning, I'm just walking you through the beginning, the most basic, that what I did. And this is what I did. Retirement, 401k. Yes, we have our 401k, IRA. At the beginning, I did not put my retirement in, so let's give it for now for simplicity. Okay, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Do you history tracking or just current data? We track the history, but only need from when we logged the data in, which is right now. Okay, and we don't want to. We just current year data, but we do not need the report right now. Okay, in the beginning, when you build the minimum viable product, so at the most simplicity product, you don't need to build everything up. You just need to look and see if it's the right one or the right main functions that you want. So at this step, design as simple as possible. My recommendation is trying to keep it within 5 functions. Don't overcomplicate it. You just want to see how it looks and feels first. It's just like interior design, right? You just look outside first, and then you will build up more function, more menu, more seasonal stuff after, okay? This part, we keep it simple. Budget and expense. I want to set up my own expense categories, so the function should allow me to add categories and this budget. Should the budget be monthly? For us, because we track our expense monthly, so we want a monthly budget. Do you need budget alert? Like AI is very ambitious, right? And in this part, my personal experience as well as from my classmate is that, yeah, we're trying to keep it as simple as possible. What format? We will be using .csv, which is the document that we got from our bank credit card statement. Both. We want both. But we can start with manual category first. Should the app report received or no, I don't need that. It's a family finance app. We don't need to overcomplicate it, okay? Do you want simple surplus calculations or actual invest? Simple surplus calculation. Should the app suggest that? No. We only need the calculate available surplus. That's why in this part you can actually, if you don't do investment, you can actually ask it. But this part, no need, okay? Reporting analytics. What kind of reports do you want? What kind of reports do you want? We want monthly summary. Because for in our family, we do a monthly review of our budget and expenses, so a monthly summary is nice. Do you need data export capabilities? No. Okay, suggestions of technical stack. Next, okay, types, backend, server base, first for hosting, first edge. Okay, so all this part of technical choice, for me, as somebody that don't know it, I'll just say yes to it, okay? I okay with the technical start that you suggested. Okay. Guys, for me, it's very simple. I just need whatever the code that is spitting out now at the PRD will be the same one that I'll able to plug into the other stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. After you answer all the clarified questions, what it will do is it will give you a summary of what you want. So this is where you confirm if all the descriptions of the function is correct for your app. So I'm looking here, it looks correct of my functions. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. And this is the technical implementations database. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this entire thing, all the product review plus the core features, and I'll be going into my Verso. So v0.app is what I'm using for the feel and look and feel, but this is where you can use like lovables, or eventually we're actually testing out other design app, because different AI app has different looks and feels in terms of the UI. So basically this is where you just copy what Claude or the original AI have as function and start copying it into the design app. The second step is to design the look and feel, and this is where you can go to all the prompted and make an app design to start seeing how it looks and feels. Just copy it, whatever you have as the summary, go into these apps. This is where I implement Verso and Server Base as the restaurant front interior design, and the kitchen for my app. Now, what I learned from doing this is I got over ambitious in the app, because as you can see earlier, I started with like able to lock details in for my expense. I want to able to manually input details and also upload the Excels. And my friend, that actually 2 different separate functions. So when I first my versions of the app, I didn't realize that uploading Excel is such a difficult functions that apps takes a long time to do. So all these design apps, you can actually start uploading data on it, but the problem is that if you prompting and fixing bugs too many times, maybe more than like 20 or 30 variations and code, the AI is starting to hallucinate. So you want to keep your like your code versions or your design versions low, below 10 or below 20. So the first version of this app, when I started it doing the design, I faced a lot of issue with the Excel uploading, and I spent like at least 10 versions of my app trying to figure out how to upload this Excel. After maybe like the 40 versions of the first version, I decided to fuck it. I'm gonna just scrape this. I'm gonna delete. I have to create a new Superbase account. I need to create a new Verso account and just basically go into it fresh. I removed the Excel uploading functions out of my list of items and just focus on manual functions first. I want the flow to be completed before I add on optimization. So lesson here is start with the most basic functions and make it work before starting the enhancement. Yeah, so that's what I did the second time because I removed Excel. Luckily, we finished the version by the 19th version and we're able to see the fully functional app before we're like, okay, this is what we want. We want this. So now let's migrating into start building all it out. Usually these kind of like AI, they will start hallucinate after a while, okay? The trick here, if you want to do the design, is that you try to be as precise, as simple as possible so that you stay below 10 or 20 version at max. But as you can see here, because I was so overcomplicated my app with Excel upload, so a lot of my requests here is just basically fixing one functions where I should have just skipped this entire part and like trying to work on the other function first. At the end, yeah, I end up with the version 42 and I feel like I just going around and around in a loop where it doesn't work. If you see the app starting to hallucinate and no longer making sense, then just move on. Just start from scratch. Like at the demo stage, at the design stage, it's not that much to restart. So let's just restart from there. Then I move on to building the kitchen for my app, which is the server, which is the waiter, which is the API. How do you get the order from the customer, bring it back to the kitchen to store that order and start cooking and then send back the result? That is the back end. And this is where we're using like storage data service. What I'm using is Superbase to basically, store all the data of mine. And this is where I decided to start from scratch. So the reason why I start from scratch because I'm trying to be within the free limitations of these apps. And for Verso at the time, I think they only allowed like 20 or 30 credits per month. And that was not enough. Like I used it all for my first prototype. So I just scrape it, use my other email account and start building again. Once I got the design up and I'm happy with it, let me try to see if I can find the original version of it. This is my MVP, which is the minimum viable products for my app. This finance tracker will have a few, as I mentioned, I will have category and budget. We'll able to manage the spending category and set monthly budget. We'll have the expense, we'll have able to log income and tax, and then we'll calculate surplus and allocation. Okay, see, so this is where you can put in, so spending category, this is where I go in and lock in rent, health, utilities, all these different budget. I add it in, I can add like, test in, create a category like this, and then I can add a budget in, like $1. That's what I can do. Yeah, and then after that, I can go to the expense. And remember, I already removed the upload Excel. So here, we just basically manually adding the expense in. This is maybe, like food, okay? And we put like 500 or something. And then I can put card in. I can put which category it is in. And I will able to click add expense. I'm not going to do that because I don't know if it's going to go to my actual database or not. So I'm not going to do that, okay? And then we have the income and tax. So sorry, this is actually have to be the beginning, right? You have to add the income in, you have to add the tax in, you remove that, and then you have whatever surplus to spend. That's supposed to be how, but in this app, didn't have that kind of limit. You have to start somewhere, right? You can Whatever data you have first, you can add in first. If you have expense first, you can add that in first, because sometimes for credit card, it doesn't start from the 1st to the 30th of the month, but the statement is until the 25th of last month to the 25th of this month, for example. I don't want to limit that you have to have income first before you have all these data, right? So again, income and tax. Here I add in my monthly payment. Oh, this is my tax amount, sorry. The income's down here. So I can add in salary, I can add in how much I made or my family made, and I click add income. And now up here, I can also add in the amount of tax that my family gonna pay. So yeah, it's fully functional, it's saved into database. So I just click, and that would work. But I'm not gonna do that because I don't want it to go into my actual database. Yeah, and then last is after you do that, you go to the service allocation, and this is where the calculation happens, the order getting made. I don't have to do anything. I just have to put in basically it will base off the data I uploaded in the other account to calculate what is my net income. Net income is after I deduct tax, and then I will be able to have my total expense of the month, which I inputted in my expense tab, and then it will calculate how much I have left for joy, for investment, etc. So this is the minimal viable versions of my products, and as you can see, I was planning to have reports and other functions as well. That is the versions that I end up with. And yes, in the chat, as you can see, actually, can you see? This is only version 20, so I was just good timing, you know, because I was able to reduce the complexity of the app, remove the Excel uploading, then I can just start building the flow of this design that I want. This is just some of the functions that we wanted at the beginning, which is just tracking a regular expenses. But if that's all we wanted, then why would you want to build a custom app? Like, you just use Excel, you know, like you don't need all this shit. The reason I'm doing it because I want more function. I want automatic, as I said, upload Excel. We've been manually flagging all the expense on what kind of budget or what kind of spending it is. I wanted that automated. I want to also calculate the reports, our growth, our business, our finance growth, our contribution, our spending habit, etc. And I want to actually tracking the transaction going in and out each of my bank's accounts, which is across multiple countries and very complicated to keep accounted on. All these other functions, I would call them are nice to have. Okay, they're not things that you want and need immediately to make an app functions. This is just things that we want to enhance to make our tracking, our finance have more transparency. Now we have the minimum viable products and we can see it working. That gets me really excited. And then we start building into an actual app. And this is where I migrate into a full AI coding assistant. And this is where we migrate all these function and minimum viable products into Cursor, which is a coding assistant tool originally built to assist developers to be better with their work, etc., but now has become fully integrating a very fast running products for coding with AI, for vibe coding, because it is powerful, guys. It is so much more powerful. You can debug on it. You can blending all the things that we blend outside earlier with GPT and Claude. Now you can use Cursor to blend. Yeah, and then you can just document your journey throughout and use different chats to build different functions. So you don't have to deal with like after the 20 version that you get crazy result, etc. It's great. Like, that's all I can say. So that's when I migrated my app into Cursor and start implemented into my family finance. Every month I open the app and I ask my husband to start uploading and use it to start tracking our stuff. The first month when he used it, I was so excited because I spent a month to make this happen. And then the first feedback he got me was, this is very hard to use. Because he was comparing of how fast he can flag categories using Excel. If you're using Excel, you can look up for different transaction and you can group it and copy and paste if all these transactions are the same kind of expense, right? If it's all food expense, you can like group it and then you can just put this is food, right? Basically, we have to manually click one by one to make that happen. So yeah, what I did is I started enhancing it based off his feedback. So then the next thing that we added on is a auto categorized, where all the budget or the expenses that we categorized once in the previous month are now auto categorized in the next month. So eventually over time it will keep spending similar expenses, then the amount of manual categories stuff that we have to do reduce. Give you an example. This is a demo of my actual app now, and as you can see, my app has grown. Right now I have buckets, I have reports, I have asset reviews, I have more things I want to put in here. But hopefully if this video is helpful, I'll share more progress afterward with you guys. So here as the expense, originally remember we had the ad expense, which is manual, and then now I have the ad expense, which is automatic. Do is I upload it here, and you can see I can upload all these things. So my first one go, oh, if I have to go in and I just click on each of this, then what's the point of the app? Because it's creating more manual shit for me, right? As my husband complained. So I was like, okay, wait, let's do an auto categorize, okay? Let the app learn that these items are gonna be in the same category, and then you just gotta train it over time to auto categorize it. And that's what exactly we did. The first enhancement that I added in this app is to auto categorize expenses that we know are repeatable, which is like grocery or transportations and things like that. Yeah, the second enhancement that I started is to do a bulk assign category, okay? Let's say I have some expense, I haven't auto categorized it yet, but I know it's repeating. Let's see. Okay, for example, Uniqlo, shopping, right? Depends on the day. Sometimes it's my expense because I purchase something, sometimes it's his expense, etc. Right? We don't know why we buy Uniqlo because different reason for different month. So we didn't auto categorize it. But for example, this month we have 2 transactions in Uniqlo. The second enhancement I did is the bulk assign category, where I was able to just key in the key term. And here I can see there are 2 Uniqlo category. And I'm like, okay, I know for this month, Uniqlo is my supplies because we need clothes for our traveling, for example, right? Yeah, so then that's what I did. I just click that on and I click apply. And it should be able to put it. Oh, sorry, I have to click on, tick it that I want to apply these, and I click apply. Done. And then yeah, I just click upload the transaction and it will be going in. I'm not gonna do that because it's kind of fucked up my database. But as you can see, that's the second enhancement that we did. Okay, yeah, so that is kind of what we've been doing on right now. So now I have my basic expense app, but now I want to enhance it. As I mentioned, I want reports, I want, bookkeepings, I want ROI, investment, tracking, all those things. So where do we start next? And this is where my product planning experience comes in handy. Number one is that we need to make sure that the model or whatever we want to work on function first before we put on an enhancement. If I'm working on the expense and I want more things to be added into the expense, I would prefer it to work first before I adding on all those things, all the other enhancement afterward, right? I want to make sure that the system able to lock in the transaction from an Excel first before I add in the auto categories, or I want to add in the bulk assignments functions into the system. The second thing is that to test, right? Every single functions that I want to build up, I will have to make sure I test, right? Just like you testing an order, right? Basically what you want to do is that you want to make sure that the entire flow of receiving the order from the customer at your restaurant bring it into the kitchen, cooking it, and then bring it back out, the entire process is functional. And And this is where the debugging process coming in, because in app building, the bugs itself come from something within that entire process broken. Some reason why your apps could be breaking up. Let's continue with the restaurant example. What could go wrong in a restaurant when a customer giving an order? Number one, the waiter can write down the wrong information and send back the wrong information. And that is like your API locking in something, history from a customer before that. So it just sent back the same information from the previous customer and not the new order. And then once we get into the kitchen, then the second reason why an order can be wrong is because the kitchen can miss the order, right? They can be busy doing other stuff, maybe have another complaint customer, so then they lost the paper, right? Somebody took the paper and accidentally throw it in the trash. The order never came. Another wrong reason is that the chef was busy or he's lying or something like that. So he looked at your order request and he cooked the wrong stuff. And that is like the server's not calculating correctly, right? And then once the order is cooked, then you need someone to bring it out to the customer. And if the server were busy with order other and he just left the order at the counter, then the customer will never receive the order. And that is like data sending in into the server, able to calculate and have result, but the API, which is the server, didn't bring it out back to the customer. So those are the potential reason why your app is not working. And this is where the debugging coming in. Using that analogy, so whenever I build a function in the app, I will make sure to test each of the steps to make sure that it works. So that means I will be testing, log in the details and see if the details would able to log back into the server and transfer back into my front end with my app. If that doesn't happen, then that means something's wrong, and that's where we go through each of the steps and checking what is going on. And the checking for me is not just logging in the details, but I will also make sure I will check on the editing, the data, or you delete the data and create a new one. So all those are the usual way to check on the app. And that is how you make sure that each function is working properly before moving on to the next. So that is all the skills I have learned and practice every single day using the AI coding tools. And it's amazing because now basically what I do is prompting the AI either to coding or to planning a functions or debugging it. And I can just walk away, work, do some things, get a drink, cook some dinner, and then once I come back, I can start working on that functions again. I have done 3 different solutions using AI. The first product is the family finance app. The second one is my company website. And the third one is actually lead generation tools that I've been wanting to do it for my company, but we just kind of like our developers are having too much stuff on their hand to help with this. It has been really helpful me to create simple calculators, like form editing tools, so that our marketing can run faster and more efficient. Yeah, so I hope these details give you some inspirations on building your first AI app. If you'd like to see more of this kind of content or would like to see what other functions I've built into my family finance app, make sure to like this video and comment if you wish to see more. I would really appreciate the feedback, and we'll make sure to make a video very, very fast. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.